What's the most satisfying way you've dealt with a terrible neighbor? My garden was my sanctuary. For 10 years, I'd cultivated it into a perfect little patch of paradise. Then he moved in. His name was Greg, and he had a thing about property lines. He started with little things, moving my sprinklers, leaving his trash cans on my lawn. Then my plants started dying, not all at once, but in a strange, creeping line right along the fence we shared. My prize-winning roses withered. My vegetable patch turned yellow and brittle. It looked like a chemical burn, a slow-motion poisoning. I knew it was him, but I had no proof. Confronting him would just be my word against his. He wanted a war of attrition to make me so miserable I'd give up the garden and maybe even move. I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of a fight. I was going to give him a lesson in ecology. For 2 weeks, I meticulously documented everything. I took photos of the dead plants every morning. I wore gloves and carefully collected soil samples from the affected areas, sealing them in labeled bags. I even took cuttings from the strange, invasive weeds that were now thriving where my flowers used to be. I took my collection not to the police, but to the local university's agricultural extension office. The lab results came back a week later. The soil was saturated with a potent, non-commercial herbicide mixed with seeds for Japanese knotweed, an incredibly destructive invasive species that can damage foundations. It wasn't just sabotage, it was biological warfare on my property. With the lab report in hand, I hired an environmental lawyer. We didn't send a cease and desist. We sent a comprehensive complaint to the state's Department of Environmental Protection and the County Agricultural Commissioner, complete with a lab analysis, photographic evidence, and a horticulturalist's official report on the potential damage to the local ecosystem. The response was immediate. 2 weeks later, a team of state inspectors in hazmat suits were on his property. They found the containers of the herbicide in his shed. He was hit with massive fines for illegal dumping of hazardous materials and the introduction of a prohibited invasive species. The court ordered a complete remediation of his property at his expense. They had to excavate 3 feet of soil from his entire backyard and replace it. His perfect lawn was gone, replaced by a pit of dirt. My garden is thriving again, and his yard is now a barren wasteland under state supervision.